friends. Good afternoon, and we have Sinjini joining us today, and this is a new episode of called this is called Sneha Studio. This is a new series which is part of Sneha Arts, and all of you who have seen us earlier, you all know that Sneha Arts is one of the leading art galleries in South India, and Dr. Snehalata Prasad is a sculptor. She's also an artist and an art collector, and the Sneha does a lot of activities related to art, events around it. And this is one initiative where Sneha Arts has decided to create art studio, which not only encourages the artist but also somebody who's into music, dance, and literature. So, and we have the privilege where Shinjini Kulkarni is inaugurating this particular series. And thank you for having on this show. So sorry. Thank you for having on this particular show. It's an honor having you. So Shinjini, maybe you can give a quick introduction and talk about your childhood and how was your journey into Kathak, and this is a culture which is slowly dying on. Where most of the people are moving towards other tradition, other passions, other forms of dance. How was your journey?
Thank you, Raviji, first of all, for having me on the show, and also a big thanks to Dr. Prasad for involving performing arts along with visual arts in their show. Um, I would say that, contrary to the popular notion, the audience for classical arts or in general art lovers are not drifting away from classical. They might be consuming arts and classical music and dance in a slightly different way now than what we've known earlier. But adapting to the change, I feel this has been a part of all arts journey. How we used to watch performances 5 decades ago was very different from how we were doing that up until last year. And now this year has suddenly brought in a lot many more changes. My own journey started from the very day I was born because classical dance and music is the environment I was born in. I belong to the ninth generation of Kalka Bindadin Gharana, which means that eight consecutive generations before me have served the field of Kathak, and my own parents are into visual arts, so I've only gotten the environment of arts around me. So it was but obvious for me to take up some kind of dance form or painting or sculpture as my hobby or passion, and then eventually also as my career. So I never really gave it too much thought, and I was not even aiming to be a dancer when I began. And it just so happened that this is how the destiny got me. And even before I knew, I was doing shows and I was performing, and people started calling me a dancer. So I was like, hey, okay, if you're calling me a dancer, then maybe I am.
Super. So, can you talk a bit about your Nanaji, and what are the learnings you had from him? Both personally in life and as a performer.
Nana's influenced Pandit Birju Maharaj Ji, who is one of the icons of Kathak dance, and he has been one of the pioneers who have told dancers for two generations after him how to present dance on an international platform. He's been an influence on my life, and I think every dancer's life in one way or another. I've been very lucky that my training has been under him alongside my maternal uncle, my aunt, and I have learned from him under the Guru Shishya Parampara style, which means that apart from the formal classroom training that I received at his institute, I also learned from him in the more informal style where you live with the Guru and you spend time with him, you do his odd chores around the house, and in between of all of those things, there are snippets of knowledge passed on to you even without you knowing it. तो मैंने इस तरह से बहुत समय बिताया उनके पास अपने बचपन के सालों में, जब तक कि स्कूल कॉलेज के दिन थे। मैं उनके यहाँ पे कई दिन तक रहा करती थी एट अ स्ट्रेच, और उनकी सेवा करना, सर में खुटकी लगाना, उनके ही इज़ वेरी फॉन्ड ऑफ गैजेट्स, तो उनके साथ नए नए टेक्नोलॉजी को एक्सप्लोर करना, उनको समझाना, एंड उसके बीच में ही वुड जस्ट स्टॉप बाय एंड बी लाइक, अच्छा ये टुकड़ा सीखो, अच्छा ये तिहाई सीख लो, and that's how my training happened. So when I started teaching, I realized that there were so many things that I had picked up subconsciously, and that's the beauty of a good guru, that he doesn't impose the knowledge on you. He just feeds it to you in a subconscious way, and even before you know it, you've internalized it in a way that you can never forget it.
Superb, superb. You're so blessed with artists around your family. People who have been performing. So, was this also a pressure for you that you have to perform really well? Up to their expectations, or beyond them. ये दिमाग में रहता था.
Uh, उनके एक्सपेक्टेशन से ज़्यादा आई थिंक ऑडियंस की एक्सपेक्टेशन बहुत ज़्यादा होती है। ऑब्वियसली जब हम स्टेज पे चढ़ते हैं तो हमारी तुलना सीधे हमारे गुरु से और उनसे होती है, जो कि जिनको मैं कम से कम अपने फील्ड का भगवान मानती हूँ। और उनके साथ तुलना किसी भी न्यूकमर की करना आई डोंट थिंक बहुत फेयर होगा, क्योंकि इतने सालों का एक्सपीरियंस, तपस्या, साधना जो उन्होंने की है, वो 1 साल में या 2 साल में या शुरू होने के साथ ही किसी बच्चे में आ पाए, ये मुश्किल है। But having said that, it comes with its own privileges, and I completely am aware of the blessing that it is to have such stalwarts in your family and to be in their close proximity as you grow. जब मेरा पहला परफॉर्मेंस हुआ तो मैं लखनऊ घराना स्टाइल ऑफ कथक प्रेजेंट करती हूँ, और मेरा पहला डेब्यू परफॉर्मेंस भी लखनऊ में हुआ। तो मेरे लिए बहुत ही एंशियस फीलिंग थी, क्योंकि ये वो सीजन्ड ऑडियंस है जिसने मेरे ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर को, मेरे ग्रैंडफादर को, मेरे अंकल्स, आंट सबको परफॉर्म करते हुए देखा था, एंड नाउ दे वर अबाउट टू सी मी। सो you cannot bluff with them. As gurus, they are very kind, and Nana is very encouraging. वो कभी आपको क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करेंगे. He'll very softly tell you कि ये बेहतर हो सकता था. He never scolds. But I think the audience, especially today's audience, is very unforgiving. So you have to get your act together before you get on the stage.
True, true. I completely agree with you. But डर लगता होगा ना, some of your relatives are standing, sitting in front of the stage, watching in the front seat, because they're VIPs and, they get that and you have to perform. So,
I categorically tell my family कि मेरा कॉन्सर्ट है, आप मत आइए, क्योंकि आप फ्रंट रो में बैठे होंगे, मैं ऑडियंस के लिए ये परफॉर्म ही नहीं कर सकती। मैं सिर्फ यही सोच रही होती हूँ कि ये आपको पसंद आया कि नहीं आया, एंड ये मैंने ठीक किया कि नहीं किया। So some of my best concerts have happened away from Delhi, away from the family's eyes, because I am a lot uninhibited at that time. And जब परिवार के सब लोग होते हैं तो थोड़ा घबराहट होता है। आके बैठ गए हैं तब तो बस फिर सारी तालीम भूल करके एकदम सिंपल टुकड़े दिहाइयाँ लगा रहे होते हैं, क्योंकि his presence in itself means that you're only performing for him.
true.
You're not performing for audience, you're not performing for applause, you're not performing to show your skill anymore. You're performing so that he approves.
Got it. So we have made a short video of your journey. Okay, so let me just play that, and we'll get on to the next question. In between, audience, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me on Facebook, so that I can ask Shinjini while she's here with us. So here is a quick video. Okay, so that's a quick video of a couple of photographs which we could gather before the show. So how was your college life, and how was the life being from a celebrity family? कैसा गया your education and your college life and the performance and the practice? ये सब कैसा गया?
I've been a very academically inclined child. तो स्कूल कॉलेज के समय मुझे पढ़ाई का बहुत शौक था। मैं 12-12 घंटे एट अ स्ट्रेच पढ़ाई करना पसंद करती थी। और मेरी जो अंडर ग्रेजुएशन की पढ़ाई हुई है वो सेंट स्टीवेंस कॉलेज डीयू से हुई है, विच वॉज अगेन अ वेरी एकेडमिकली सेंटर्ड इंस्टीट्यूट, जहाँ पे ईसीए वगैरह को उतना प्रमोशन नहीं है। दे फील लाइक द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू आर सपोज टू डू इज स्टडी। तो उसके बीच में to manage your attendance and to do your performances and all was a little difficult, but it was also the time where I found my own creative voice. I think during my college years was the first time that I started to experiment creatively, and I realized the need to find my own signature style and a voice for my creativity, and not just carry on in addition to carrying on what I have learned traditionally at home, but putting a slight tinge of my own flavor in it. So college has been extremely formative for me even as an artist. um, मैं अपने आप को सेलिब्रिटी फैमिली तो नहीं बुलाऊंगी. It's I don't know if my video has stopped by
Yeah, I
any
think your
chance.
video just froze, but we are able to hear you perfectly clear.
Okay, just so it's been kind of like that कि हम हर केस में इसको थोड़ा सा घबराते हैं ये सोच कर कि कैसे ये सारा समय साथ में बीतेगा, और कि पढ़ाई पे कितना इफेक्ट होगा, हम कितने जल्दी ये सब कर पाएंगे साथ में, बट पता भी नहीं चलता और ये टाइम बीत जाता है.
Okay, you're back. Nice.
या आई होप सो.
Yeah. Okay. So we have some compliments rolling in. So we have Rami Kumari saying, "Good afternoon, Ravi sir," and Sinjini, Pranam Didi from Riya Mishra, and you have Alok Majumdar who is saying, "Welcome, Shinjini Kulkarni. Congratulations and best wishes."
थैंक
Uh,
यू.
Okay, Alok is also saying very nice photographs and impressive moments. So yeah, talking about nice photographs. So were you also into modeling and other activities apart from Kathak?
Yeah, so after I finished college, I was in my experimental phase, and I wanted to dabble in a host of things before I decided what is it that I really wanted to do. I decided to do Kathak as a profession much later on, after I finished graduation. So up until then, I started doing a little bit of modeling. I also dabbled in films. I started doing theater at this point of time. And initially, people thought that probably this is what I wanted to do. But at every point, I was very clear that this is all just things that I want to experience before I move forward. So I've continued modeling, and I do that because it is something that makes me excited, makes me happy. It is something I look forward to. Films has been more from the perspective of exposure. I think theater and films both have extensively helped me in improving my abhinay and the way I perform on stage, the way I command the audience's attention. And these are things that I learned in different kind of media. So I feel that an artist has to be well-rounded. I cannot just be a Kathak dancer and I can excel. I need to have influence of painting. I need to have an influence of art installation. I need to have the influence of theater in the way I present my production. So these are small little things that I try to keep doing. So I love to write. This is
Oh,
something
okay,
that
that's new.
very few people know. Small little snippets, poems at times. And I feel the more I express and explore myself creatively, the more colors I will find to share with my audience.
Okay. What is the area you're writing in? Any specific genre or
What I write, I don't know if I can classify it yet in any genre. Definitely, what I write is deeply personal, coming from my own vulnerabilities during my journey as an artist. And I only write what I have experienced. I'm not that good a writer or a poet to be able to write someone else's experiences authentically yet. I wish I can get there someday, but not right now.
Okay. With respect to films, are you very particular about the role that it needs to have at least a bit of dancing or a kathak on that particular role, or are you flexible ki chalta hai this is I'm okay with the roles which I play in, and it need not have dance in it.
So when I started off, that was not one of the preconditions I had. At that time, I did not have an image, an identity of a Kathak dancer. At that time, I was free to do whatever I wanted to do and be whatever I wanted to be. But today, after having spent a few years in my career and by touchwood, by God's grace, been able to make an identity for myself quite quickly in this field, I feel like now people who watch me also expect of me to have a certain kind of inclination towards either characters or roles that have a dance background, or I am performing as a dancer in the movie. So I did a Bangla film called Har Har Bomkesh, in which I performed a mehfil dance sequence, which was in pure Kathak, and that's that was totally built. The character was totally built on my skill as a Kathak dancer. However, there are times when I do characters in theatre which do not really draw upon my skill as a Kathak dancer, but they have that influence. Okay, this
Yeah.
is the kind of background she comes from, so let's keep her safer from the other edges, what I mean. So I feel like with my new identity, I have to be a little more careful, which up until a few years ago was not something that was imposed on me.
Got it. How important is expressions in Kathak? And now you're also moving into films, or you've been in films now. So how important? And when did you learn? Or when did you realize that मेरे को अभी expressions देना था? See, dance is one, but Kathak also involves a lot of expressions. The right expressions at the right
This
moment.
is a very tricky question, Ravi ji, that you've put up. मेरे घर में कहा जाता है कि जब तक आपने किसी रस को जिया नहीं है, तो उसका अभिव्यक्ति भी आप नहीं कर सकते, आप उसको उतनी कन्विंसिंगली पोर्ट्रे नहीं कर सकते. So as I was growing up in my teenage, I used to think this is all nonsense. ये क्या है? If I have to show sadness, I cannot actually become sad to show sadness. But life is such a beautiful thing. It will give you experiences where you can experience all of this, and you have to learn to not be guarded all the time. You have to learn that कभी कभी आपको पता है कि सामने की चीज से आपको दुख होगा, but you let it happen because that's how you experience and that's how you express. Um, as a dancer, I can learn technique.
Mhm.
I can learn that, Hasya can be this, Shringar can be this, Lasya can be a host of other things. I can do Shringar like this, like this. I can show Ghungar in the most soft way. But um, till I haven't loved myself, till I haven't loved another person with that intensity, can my eyes speak of love? Maybe not.
No.
So acting in theater helps you probably fake it till you get there, and then the rest, how legends form is legendary dancers, legendary actors have all lived their life with extreme sensitivity, vulnerability, and that's how you excel in your art. I guess that's the price you pay.
Okay. So what is Sanjani's signature expression? And can you perform that in slow motion?
Shinjini's signature expression. Um,
और स्लो मोशन में चाहिए हमको, स्लो मोशन में बहुत धीरे धीरे, मतलब let's say you're doing the same घूंघट ऐसा निकालते हो, but it has to be very.
So as a child,
What?
I've been very influenced by the classic shot of Madhubala in Mughal
Hmm.
Azam, where she opens her ghungat and looks up, which was choreographed by my great grandfather, Lachu Maharaji, Pandit Lachu Maharaji, and he has done the dance choreography of the song Mohe Panghat Pe Nandalal Chhede Gayore.
Wow.
And the way she opens the ghungat and that nuts that she has and her side smile, lopsided smile, it's been imprinted. So I'll try and do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how successful I will be, but वो गाना होता है and her घूंघट is like this. And she opens the ghungar. And she smiles and she leaves it over there. And that's all that there is to it.
Superb, superb. So a lot of compliments coming in. Beautifully said, Shinjini. This is from Pratham Sharma, and Ravindra Gandhra is saying excellent discussion. So thanks a lot, guys, and yeah, do share if you have any questions while Shinjini is here, and we'll share a short video of her performance. A lot of people who've not seen her performance yet, and I'm saying for the first time, I'm so honored that I've seen her performance, and when I copied this particular video. So here is a quick video about Shinjini performing on the stage when her relatives are not in the front seat. सुपर परफॉर्मेंस. शिंजनी, चक्कर नहीं आता?
उसी को रियाज कहते हैं.
So how long does it take to practice that rotation thing? I'm not sure about the name, but how long does it take to get that
So
perfection?
the thing is that spins and pirouettes are an integral part of Kathak and हम जब शुरू में अपनी ट्रेनिंग करते हैं तभी से हमको इंट्रोड्यूस करा दिया जाता है. तो उसकी अपनी एक टेक्निक है, स्किल है. एंड जस्ट लाइक एनी अदर वेस्टर्न डांस फॉर्म जैसे बैले हो गया या कोई भी डिसिप्लिन लगता है एंड एक परसिस्टेंस लगती है. कथक जैसा डांस फॉर्म आप 6-8 महीने में नहीं सीख सकते. आपको कई साल उसके साथ बिताने पड़ते हैं एंड तब आप उसको परफेक्ट कर पाते हैं. स्पिन्स एक एस्पेक्ट है सिर्फ कथक का. ऑडियंस ले ऑडियंस को बहुत पसंद आता है क्योंकि विजुअली बड़ा ही इम्पैक्टफुल है, अपीलिंग है. स्किल वाइज मैं बोलूँगी कि हाँ मेहनत लगती है बट उसमें उतना ही है, बस स्किल जितना ही है. उसको आप कैसे इनकॉर्पोरेट कर रहे हैं आई थिंक वो ज़्यादा
It is.
ज़रूरी है. And there are some dancers who are able to do 200-250 spins also at one time, but
Wow.
it's about how aesthetically you can use it. The idea is कि अगर कोई घूमता ही जाएगा तो वो आफ्टर अ वाइल बोरिंग हो जाता है.
Yeah, yeah.
बट अपनी बात कहने के लिए हर हर हस्तक, हर मुद्रा, जो भी हम एक्सप्रेशन कर रहे हैं स्टेज पे, वो अपनी कहानी कहने के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो वो कहानी कि नरेशन में ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए कि ओ मैंने नरेशन रोक करके ये सिर्फ किया है फॉर क्लैप्स, एंड जब मुझे क्लैपिंग मिल गई वापस मैं नरेशन पे आ गई। नहीं, ऐसा
Got
नहीं
it.
होना चाहिए।
Got it. How important is your foot health? You सब कुछ पैरों के ऊपर so dependent है. How important is your legs? Do you guys frequently visit a ortho to do it or?
I wish that was the kind of awareness in dancers, but no. जितना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है foot care and looking after your bones and everything, उतना ही ज़्यादा abused भी हमारे पैर ही होते हैं। A dancer's feet, my God, छाले पड़े रहेंगे, पैर कटे रहेंगे। जितना हमको लगेगा कि डांसर्स के पैर सुंदर होने चाहिए उतने ही नहीं होते हैं, बिकॉज हम पूरे दिन नंगे पैर नाच रहे होते हैं और धूल मिट्टी की जगह में भी नाचना पड़ता है। कई बार आपको मैं विश्वास नहीं होगा मैं बताऊं कि कई बार हमको स्टेज ऐसा मिलता है, वुडन स्टेज नहीं है, सीमेंटेड स्टेज भी नहीं है, आधा टूटा फूटा ब्रिक्स का स्टेज है, उस पे डांस करना है। तो our feet face a lot, and despite that we try and bring as much value to our each performance as possible, because जरूरी नहीं है कि हर छोटे शहर में हमको वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मिले जो कि एक अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस के लिए जरूरी है, बट फिर भी एज एन आर्टिस्ट हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि जो भी हमको मिल रहा है उसमें हम ऑडियंस को बेस्ट एक्सपीरियंस दे सकें।
So you've done so many performances on the stage, so and internationally also. So यहाँ के stage performance में और वहाँ के organizing में in terms of events, what were your very good successful events and events where the organizing was not that great.
The biggest difference between, so I have performed at venues such as Madison Square Garden in US, in New York, and I performed at Palace of Fine Arts at San Francisco. These are like one of the holy grail of venues where artists across the world want to perform. The biggest difference from there and here is the fact कि वहाँ पर आपको बहुत अच्छा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मिलेगा, जो साउंड इंजीनियर है वो एग्जैक्टली अपना काम जानता है, जो पर्सन लाइट हैंडल कर रहा है उसको आप एक बार बताइए वो एग्जैक्टली सब कर देगा। ये चीज़ हमें इंडिया में हर शहर में नहीं मिलती, मेट्रोपॉलिटन्स में फिर भी मिल जाती है, छोटे शहरों में बहुत मुश्किल होता है, कई बार बिना माइक के हैलोजन लाइट्स में भी परफॉर्म करना पड़ता है। बट यहाँ पे हमें एक चीज़ मिलती है जो हमें वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में नहीं मिल पाती, वो है एक सीजन्ड ऑडियंस। यहाँ की ऑडियंस को एग्जैक्टली पता है कि कहाँ पे तारीफ करनी है और कहाँ पे आज मज़ा नहीं आया। और एक आर्टिस्ट के लिए ये फीलिंग कि आई डिड दैट स्मॉल लिटिल detailing, that nuance over there, did the audience catch it? And if they did, it is some another kind of satisfaction that we cannot explain. That is much higher than technical quality and precision. Even though that's very important in a concert success, I feel एक organic energy flow जो होता है, it's not just about clapping at the end of the performance. It's also about seeing something in the middle of the show and going, वाह क्या बात है। वो जो ऑडियंस में से एक आवाज आती है, आहा क्या सॉन्ग लग रहा है, वो भी बहुत एक्साइटिंग होती है और वो हमें इंडिया में ही मिलती है।
So who is personally for your performance, who is your biggest critic, who always shares a positive this thing, might be your team member or family, who is that person?
It's my mother, and my God, she can be really harsh. So there have been times when I have come off the stage feeling like a queen. I'm like, huh? And like a 20-something-year-old girl who's getting good applause and she's performed and she's out of breath after a performance. Good, exhilarating show. And I'm feeling like, oh, I did a wonderful show and everything. And my mom was like, you were so pathetic today. So she doesn't mince her words, but she's very encouraging also. The fact that I'm on the stage, because at heart, I'm a very shy person. It doesn't come across now as much with over the years of practice and training. I've become a more people's person. But she's the one who's put me on stage and told me that, if you're going to find an identity, it's going to be in midst of people on stage. And yet she's the one who keeps me grounded. She is the one, she uses her visual arts eye and aesthetic to tell me that, if you would bend a little more here while you were dancing, it would create that Ajanta vibe. And that's how we talk. She talks painting, I talk dance. But our language merges when we talk aesthetic.
Okay. What about your friends? How is Shinjini along with her friends when you guys get together? Isme, are you more towards your, skills, or you're like a common friend with, all this aside?
I think I'm, like I said, a very shy person. So most of my friends are people who have known me from much before I was a dancer, and they have seen me grow. So they would say, so they keep me very normal and neutral. They don't listen to me. I can keep crying. I want to listen to at least semi-classical, kuch Sufi hi baja do if you don't want to listen to a rag, and they will be like, now we are playing some Punjabi music. So. I think I'm most natural around them, and they are the ones who keep me sane. It's very easy to get drifted in your work and to forget the fact that you need to have a work, professional and personal life balance, and they help me keep that. And most importantly, I think they are my biggest well wishers, which is, I think, you can be at the top, but if you don't have the right company to enjoy the view, then it's all worthless. And my friends are the best company I could ever ask for.
So you're now also teaching, Kathak. So how is it? How was the overall experience of teaching apart from performing? Who youngest and the oldest student you have?
So, I think teaching is greatly rewarding because the kind of love that your students shower upon you is unbelievable. It's unadulterated. They love you from all your heart. I have their grandmoms calling me up and telling me. So I have a student who's 4.5, 5 year old, and her grandmom called me up the other day, and she's like, Shinjini, you won't believe she started dressing up like you. She wants to put a bindi every day and make a plait in her hair and come to dance class because she wants to look like her dance didi. So, if I'm touching someone's life in such an intimate way, and I can leave the impact of Indian art and culture even to 5 lives at that young age, and they can develop the love for classical at the right age, I think my job is done. I have some wonderful students who are about to start taking Kathak as a profession now. They're doing phenomenally well for themselves, and they have the urge to give back to the dance form also. And on the other side, I'm also training young girls, 5, 6 year olds who live across. They live in UK, they live in US. They are not very familiar with the language Hindi or Braj Bhasha, and I have to not just teach them Kathak, I have to teach them mythology to be able to tell them. So they ask me things like, Shiva कौन है? Shiva के forehead पे moon क्यों है? And they'll talk in their accent and it's so cute. And I'm like, वो moon का एक story है. उनके सर से water क्यों गिर रहा है? And I'm like, that's Ganga.
That's a cute question.
So I become more than a dance teacher. I become like an elder sister. I tell them so much about life. I tell them how to carry themselves, how to talk, how to dance, how to recite bowls. They will start as ta, theya, theya, thay, and I'm like, from here you have to go to like da, 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 da. So there is a huge journey that they have to undertake, and that journey I want to guide them through in my own small capacity.
Do you also sing, Shinjin?
I wish. I really wish. I started learning during the lockdown, and it went well for a few months, and up until unlock started happening and I got busy again, and that was that of it. But no, it's one thing that I hopefully will do before I hang my boots.
Okay. As a teacher, you're a strict teacher, or you're somebody who gives the freedom to learn and all that. क्या है? How is Shinjini as a teacher?
Well, this is something my students should say, but I would like to believe I'm someone that they can come to and share their deepest problems with, sorrows with, and at the same time are scared of me, so that there is a kind of discipline that they follow. Um, my kids, they just want to spend time with me even if you're not doing dance. And in a generation where Guru Shishya Parampara has increasingly come to fade, I feel like even if this kind of relation I can maintain, where I'm like an elder sister to them and I'm always available to them on call, um, even that is a good thing. It's better than that very impersonal, formal student teacher training where the class gets over and then the teacher has no role to play in your life.
So people are observing you, Shintini. People are following you. They watch whatever you do. So now you got into this particular stage. So what is that one thing you regularly try to preach with respect to the culture or the art of performing arts?
Wow. Raviji, I would just say that classical has been under the scrutiny a lot lately because with YouTube and social media, there's been a huge democratization of content. Earlier, only the ones who got a stage, who got a chance, an opportunity in a festival, were the ones who were watched by hundreds of people. Today, everyone can have their own YouTube channel and can access an audience of crores of people. So there is no quality check happening anymore. So what I tell people around me always is A, label your work correctly. Are you doing classical or is this semi-classical or is this experimental or is this Bollywood? Make sure you categorize correctly. Because when you say this is classical and a crore of people are watching and they don't have prior knowledge, they are going to take you on word value. So make sure you don't do that. Second thing, while it is very important for dance to adapt, to experiment, to move forward and remain relevant socially and stay contemporary, it is also important that in all of this collaboration, we don't end up diluting the purity of the dance form. And by purity, I mean the way it was envisioned in the Natya Shastra. So, what Natyam is, what Abhinaya is, what Nritta is, even if you want to dance Kathak to the song of Ed Sheeran and make it more approachable, fast selling, have more views and likes and comments, if that is your end goal, likes and comments, then somewhere classical is not for you because classical has been niche. It's always been for a niche audience and it's an acquired taste. You don't naturally start liking classical, you have to build a taste for it. So try maintaining the purity. I'm not a conservative that way. I'm open for all kinds of exploration. The challenge is, the real challenge happens when you can really experiment, explore, and create something new while staying within the grammar of the dance song.
Got it. But have you ever tried, I mean, talking in the same lines, have you ever tried fusion with Kathak or, performing and, not changing the, way you dance, not changing the lyrics and all that, but a fusion with something which is modern, which is like connecting with, the current generation.
So I would love to know what you consider modern. I feel that the classical is extremely modern. We can talk about really any other topic under the sun via the classical language. Classical is just a language. I don't think it's a theme that could be modern or not modern.
Not,
Anyways, to for your question, yes, I have done fusion. I have performed with Latin percussions. I have performed with rhythm guitar, bass guitar. I have done. There's a project that's coming up which is completely based on jazz music in Kathak.
wow.
So my entire ensemble is going to be the jazz instruments, and I'm going to do pure Kathak on it. So my idea is I don't like to call it fusion. I like to call it collaboration,
Hmm.
where they bring their pure music and I bring my pure dance and we fuse it together. And even at any point, if I want to collaborate with another dance form, it will be without mixing it. Like maybe something that I might not do is doing two dances together on one body, like doing hip hop and Kathak at the same time. That is not my cup of tea. I'm also not equipped to do it. You tell me to do a pure Bollywood sequence for a movie, I would happily do it. There's no problem with that. I'm not putting myself in a watertight compartment. However, on stage, if you tell me to do a Bollywood song, I would not, because there I'm just a Kathak dancer and I would like to maintain it like that. And I can bring a host of new things for my audience, which is which they can find more easy to connect with without having to break the grammar of Kathak.
Cool. So now talking about your future plans. So what's up? What's cooking? And you come from a a famous family. So what is that Shinjini wants to be known for?
Raviji, this question before the lockdown would have fetched you a very different answer. I think the lockdown has mellowed me down as a person greatly, and I think um, instead of a lot of materialistic goals and being at the top of my job, which was what I wanted to do as a early 20s girl, I think I'm looking at now feeling more content, more complete, and more calm at what I do. Instead of being in a continuous race of doing as many concerts as I can, performing every day, and being all over the place across the globe. I want to do meaningful shows. I want to do meaningful work. Yes, I want to reach out to a huge audience. I want to reach out to people and show my work via through movies, via through dance, via through theater, writing, everything. But my idea is now to do work which is high quality, something that will be considered as contribution to the field of Kathak and something that might be remembered 100 years later that she laid the seeds for something new to happen in this dance form and it gave a new direction to the dance form.
So the last question, what is that, what is that message you want to give for people who are in a dilemma? Seekhna hai, Kathak seekhna hai, but I don't have time. Or, a lot of people have now realized that there's a lot of time they can, spare right now after pandemic. So any message for them?
I feel like through your platform, I would like to tell everyone that not everything that you learn is for monetization. So you are not learning dance to make it a career. Not everyone does that. Sometimes you just dance because it makes you happy. Like I love to sing because it makes me happy. Can I do it well? No. Can I ever sing on stage? No.
For a while, I was
So
like, here, she said she cannot sing. Why is she talking about singing?
but I love it and I should continue to do it because it gives me that pure joy. Similarly, for people who want to learn dance, they should just do it without thinking if it's going to fetch them anything. The idea is if it's fetching you happiness, I think it's doing the most, even more than what your job, your 9 to 5 job is doing for you. So learn dance, learn any kind of art. Investing yourself in any kind of art is going to be rewarding in a way that you didn't know your sensitivities can come out. And I feel that I'm not advocating only classical. I'm not advocating only dance. If you like to paint, just paint. If you like to write, just write. But some kind of artistic influence in your daily life is going to keep you sane. It's going to not let you become a robo, which all of us humans are starting to become with the time we spend in front of screens, just looking at a flat screen. So अगर आंखों में चमक चाहिए तो स्क्रीन के सामने से हटिए, मिरर के सामने जाइए और कुछ डांस कीजिए.
Superb, superb. So let's also check for some, comments which are coming in. Alok sir is saying, Shinjini, your concept is ultimate. Kathak is amazing. Riya Mishra, Didi is the best. Okay. Sunil, well said, Shinjini Kulkarni. It is important to use correct name so that the audience knows whether it is traditional, collaboration, fusion, or Bollywood. Yeah, this is to the point where you're talking about for views and all that. We do a lot of stuff. So we have to be very clear in terms of the name. Very nice video, so impressive moments and wonderful presentation. This is for the dance performance you had. So
Thank you.
thank you. Thanks a lot, Shinjini, for joining us. All the best. God bless you with whatever you do. So, what are these social media platforms? People who are still not connected. There might be a lot of audience, and including me, I'm still not connected to you. So, where can we find you, and what's your next project which we should follow, and spread the word out.
So I am very active on Instagram, a little less on Facebook, but you can connect on either of those two platforms. I'm not on Twitter. A new project and something very fun that I've started doing is a YouTube channel that I started by the name of The Dancing Storyteller. And I'm doing the folklore of India, जो हमारे बचपन की कहानियां होती थी, पंचतंत्र, करडी टेल्स, जाटका टेल्स, इस तरह की स्टोरीज जो हम बचपन में सुना करते थे, मैं उसे कथक के जरिए एनैक्ट कर रही हूँ। इससे मेरी इच्छा थी दो चीज़ों की कि एक बच्चों की इमेजिनेशन को रीइग्नाइट किया जाए। हम उनको कॉन्स्टेंटली विजुअल्स और ग्राफिक्स फीड कर रहे हैं, वो खुद कुछ इमेजिन नहीं कर रहे। और दूसरा ये कि इस छोटी सी उम्र में अगर वो धीरे धीरे कथक की मुद्राएं देखते रहेंगे तो वो इंटरनलाइज कर रहे हैं उस डांस फॉर्म को। और जैसे कि मैंने सीखा था बचपन में कथक अनजाने में, वैसे ही वो लोग भी सीखने लगेंगे। तो ये मेरा एक नया कोशिश है, एक नया प्रोजेक्ट है, द डांसिंग स्टोरी टेलर ऑन यूट्यूब, एंड आई एम ऑलवेज अप फॉर अ गुड चैट ऑन इंस्टाग्राम।
Superb. So, friends, do follow this particular YouTube. And Shinjini, do include Shiva ke sar pe taaj kyun hai? Who's Shiva? And why does water flow from his head? So you do include these stories because yeah, I agree with you. There are a lot of kids out there in the US, and maybe I'll check with my kids what answer they give. This is a good food for thought.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thanks for doing this. I will personally subscribe to this particular new project initiative. Thank you, friends, for watching this particular episode. Sneha Studio, first episode of this particular series, and we're glad to have Shinjini, inaugurating this particular series. And thank you all for your compliments and comments which are rolling in. Do follow us and appreciate all the artists who are joining Institute because. This is the purpose. We want to bring audience closer to the artists closest to the audience and promote them. So thank you, friends. Thank you, Shinjini. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely talking.
Thank you.